Hello, everyone. Chapter 4 of Proverbs starts with a sort of gentle tone. It's the advice of a father to their child in light of the fact that they themselves were once a child, learning from their father. For I too was once my father's son, tenderly loved as my mother's only child. Now, assuming for the moment that this is Solomon writing, then what that means is he's referring to the wisdom taught to him by King David. By the time that Solomon would have been old enough to receive such teaching, David would have lived a whole lot of life. Now, we know that David made his share of mistakes, and I got to believe that he would have learned a whole lot from those experiences. So here we have Solomon, who is considered to be one of the wisest men to ever live. In fact, in 1 Kings chapter 4, it says this: in fact, his wisdom exceeded that of all the wise men of the East and the wise men of Egypt. So what Solomon is saying here is that his father, King David, gave him the basis of his wisdom. So what was that starting point? Well, listen to this. My father taught me, take my words to heart, follow my commandments, and you will live. Get wisdom. Develop good judgment. Don't forget my words or turn away from them. Don't turn your back on wisdom, for she will protect you. Love her, and she will guard you. Getting wisdom is the wisest thing you can do. And whatever else you do, develop good judgment. That first line jumps out at me. Take my words to heart. Follow my commandments, and you will live. As we have already established, fear, or rather respect for the Lord, is the foundation of knowledge. What we have then is this reminder that a relationship with God gives life. Holding tightly to this truth is essential. He warns that what will happen if we compromise. Take hold of my instructions. Don't let them go. Guard them, for they are the key to life. Don't do as the wicked do, and don't follow the path of evildoers. Don't even think about it. Don't go that way. Turn away and keep moving. He goes on to warn about the path of evildoers. Then he comes back to the message of how imperative wisdom is. Now, what strikes me about this chapter is really just two things. First, Solomon is making it absolutely crystal clear that there are forces that will attempt to distract us from holding firmly to God in our lives. And this truth is punctuated by the fact that Solomon himself would fall to such temptations. We can never allow ourselves to be so arrogant as to think that we are above the reach of those temptations. That is why we must so seriously commit ourselves to the disciplines of our faith. Our lives and our souls depend on it. The second observation is the role of our fathers in our own development. Now, when I say father, I don't mean God, but rather those figures in our lives that mentored us and implanted the seeds that would later influence our character. Now, sometimes these are our biological parents. Other times, they are spiritual parents that God has steered into our lives. For some, these relationships are messy. So we need to seek God to guide us to mentors that will help us grow. But in many cases, our parents have actually done a pretty good job of trying to equip us for life. A Mark Twain quote comes to mind right now. When I was a boy of 14, my father was so ignorant I could hardly stand to have the old man around. But when I got to be 21, I was astonished at how much the old man had learned in 7 years. My point is this: God has likely staged voices of wisdom in our lives. And the truth is, we probably already know who those voices are. Resist the temptation to ignore them, because the wisdom God leads us to is life. We definitely need that. Have a great day, everyone.
If these devotional videos are helpful to you, subscribe to our channel and click the notification button so you know when we post a new video. And of course, please share them with others.